Yo guys, what up? How we all doing? Yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's been a while since I've posted a video and that, and this is a kind of a follow-up to the previous video I was saying about how the manufacturers, the big synth manufacturers and music making equipment manufacturers are basically conning us, and it's a slightly kind of more of a positive topic, I would say. It's on the topic of synth workstations. Now, there was a video posted up by another chap who's like a YouTube guy, and I'll put the name there on the link on the video to refer to him. Anyway, he was saying how he's accumulated all this equipment, blah blah blah. It's like £10,000, maybe could be around £10,000 worth of value. Brand new. He's picked up stuff half price, so or discounted price, second hand, so it's around £6,000. And he's saying how a lot of this stuff is kind of basically it can be done in a workstation. Obviously, you're not going to get the hands-on control, of course. Maybe not quite the vibe, but nevertheless, for your bread and butter sounds, your synth sounds, your kind of your GM type sounds, acoustic sounds and all that. A workstation is going to cover a lot of what people really need. And I have to confess, I haven't really been someone that's followed workstations much over the years. Obviously, back in the day, there were a few coveted sort of machines, really like the Korg Triton. I knew that was pretty powerful at the time, but they were quite expensive back then. And you could definitely get workstations that did the 16 parts, which is really what you wanted. And then there were modules which did 16 parts and beyond, like 32 parts, which is probably a bit, again, handy, but not really necessary, like your Proteus 2000s and so on and so forth. But now I've looked online, and a lot of these workstations are going for very good prices. Very good prices. They're very affordable. They're very cheap. Some of the old school ones are a bit more kind of a little bit more expensive, considering they're so damn old. But they are bulky items. That's the thing. They're not small pieces of equipment, so they're not portable. Of course, they will sit as your kind of centerpiece in your home studios. But I'm looking at the ads on. I go on Facebook Marketplace, for example, and I'm looking at the ads there, right? And there's some very nice bargains. I'm just scrolling up and I'm looking at this, like Korg Triton, 380, Jupiter, Roland Jupiter XM, 700. Not really lots of hand-on control. I don't know whether it sounds that interesting, but it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, like, okay, maybe it's a bit thin sounding, whatever, but it does give you the control at the end of the day. Someone's asking 700 for that. You might be able to get 500. It's only 5 parts, so it's not totally, useful. But nevertheless, come on. Probably reasonable amount of polyphony, I suspect, on that too. I'm seeing other ones like Korg Cross, blah blah blah, Kurzweil, Korg Chrome, Korg Karma. Good prices, 350. Phantom for under 500. Phantom 06, that's a pretty brand new synth. 128 voices, 16 part. Got the controls. You can make music with that, no probs. You know what I mean? You don't need a flipping modular. You know what I mean? If you want to make tunes, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure people are going to hate on me and stuff, but blah blah blah. But you know what? Come on, 16 parts. It's got 128 voices. You've got effects. You've got all your LFOs and envelopes and whatnot to make reasonable music. And I'm sure there's a breadth of sound. Yes, they're probably going to try and tie you in and get you to the ecosystem and get you to buy these other add-ons, and maybe the technology's not where it needs to be, but believe me, it's probably ahead of what it was back in the day. It wouldn't be perfect, but it's going to be ahead. You're going to have a bit more of an ease of control over the sounds, and you can crack on and make music with that. And yes, you could get one of these you could get a recent workstation, or you could get an old station. And if you want to go hardware or old school, you can get one of these. You can maybe just use live, or just sequencing on your on a cheap iPad, whatever. You don't have to go overboard with stuff. I'm telling you, you can go cheap. You don't have to be spending, breaking the bank. You don't have to break the bank. You can be getting this stuff for like you can get up and go for under 500 or even less. I know. I've got a few Ataris, and if you want to use an Atari like for old school sequencing, again, it's cheap. You just buy STE, get one for 50, 60 quid. That's what I did. I hunt around. I push on the price. That's my style. And I got a couple of STEs for nothing, and I've upgraded them. Popped in the old hard drive at the back. I can use Cubase on it and other things if I want to go old school. Use a cable that goes straight into SCART. So yeah, anyway, I'm digressing, but this stuff is doable. Come on, you don't have to break the bank spending 10k or £5,000 on little gizmos. It depends, of course. You want maybe the vibe. Okay, fair play, but look at this Roland, like a Roland. What's this Roland Roland GW7 workstation. I don't know how decent this is or anything. Look, what's it? 64 voices. Yeah, 64 voices, 16 part, multi-timbral. That's what I'm talking about. It's even got USB. It's old. It's old. It's old. Admittedly, it's going to be like USB 1 or something. It's an old thing, definitely. But yeah, £200. Come on. You could ask that guy and say, I'll give you 100, job done. Come on. Let's get real, people. Come on, seriously. What else we got? We've got a whole bunch of stuff here. Loads of different workstations. Some are old stuff, some more recent stuff. Korg i3 from the 90s. I even saw someone putting a Kawai K1 up on here. I wouldn't rate that as a workstation necessarily. I think it's only got 8 voices maybe. I've got one of those. I got one for 75. They're asking for 350. I think look, don't get me wrong, it's a cool synth. It's got the LFO connection. It was the famous pad was used by LFO on LFO and that. And it's definitely got a nice sound to it. And of course it's got character. It's got a very breathy kind of rough kind of digital sound to it. It's quite an interesting synth, but is it a classic? Nah. Like the presets are quite interesting. There's some nice Vox type preset sounds to it, but I think it's over. I wouldn't pay 350 for that. Just no way. Phantom again 650. Blah blah blah. What else are we seeing here? There's lots of stuff. W30. That's the Prodigy one that they used. I think was it W10 or W30? Probably the W30. Comes with the floppy disk drive. Come on, guys, you can be creative on this. You don't have to break, you don't have to be throwing your money against, just throwing your money away. It's just crazy. What else we got here? I'm looking. I'm making this video too long anyway. But yeah, there's loads of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and probably eBay, where they're trying to sell stuff for even more, which is just like a nonsense. And of course, you've got the older synth modules as well, like your JV180 and stuff like that. They're a bit of a pain in the neck to use, to be honest. But a workstation with a screen, maybe even a touch screen now, would be probably a lot easier to use, if I'm honest. But the only thing is they're bulky. I don't really care for some massive 88 key thing. I'm not really a keyboard player, to be honest. I can play the keys a little bit, but I just put my tunes together, through years of experience and just understanding like what kind of works. And I'm still learning, like we all are. So what else? I'm looking. Yeah, there's quite a lot of synths. Yeah, there's a lot of these workstations on here, definitely. Lots of bits and bobs. Definitely. So there's no point buying all these little toys when you can get a workstation for probably a few hundred more, and you get everything. You get all the polyphony, you get all the parts. It's just madness. Come on. Anyway, I've waffled on for enough. That's my video for today, guys. And been a while, but yeah, stay tuned for more.